Whoop whoop, and welcome to the Batgirljamie Show. Today's episode is violence in the media and how people perceive it, including video games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto, movies, violent movies like horror movies where there's a lot of killing, and music like ICP type music where there's killing and violence and stuff like that. All that is just meant for entertainment, and most people will take it as entertainment. And then there's people that are mentally disturbed, not normal, that get feed on that, and then they blame that game. They say that they saw it in that game and they just decided to do it. But those people are mentally disturbed and they can't differentiate the difference between real and fake and what to do and what to do. They don't have no sense of right and wrong, and they weren't born with a conscience, and they're mentally disturbed. They're not mentally disabled, they're mentally disturbed, because I have a mental disability and I have Asperger's syndrome, and that offends me when people say that people with mental disabilities are dangerous. It depends. You've got to watch for violent signs in people, in your children. If they show signs of violence, you've got to keep weapons away from them. And don't give them violent video games. You watch how your children react to violent video games, music, and movies. And if they have an obsession with it, and they want to act like they're gonna pretend acting it out, or they're acting it out, unlike I do. I do not do that. The most I do that ICP does is drink Faygo and wear face paint sometimes. But that's I love my ICP music. Not all ICP music is violent or hateful. Some of it's really kind of positive. Rainbows and Stuff is one of the most positive songs. My favorite ICP song is Homies, because it just shows that you have friends that will be there for you for the rest of your life no matter what. But, see, it's like taking away Call of Duty from everybody that's a gamer and loves that game just because it's too violent. And it's going to make people want to go shoot up a bunch of people. No. That's taking away people's right to have fun and to play video games. It gets out their aggression. But like the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newton, Connecticut, supposedly that's where Bruce Jenner was from, just for your 411. So he's taken this serious, he's freaked out about it, because it happened in his hometown. Well, in this process, the kids shot up students, very young, kindergarten type students, and they're 6 years old, and I have nephews that are 6 years old, and this hits me hard, and I don't like to talk about it, but I will just for you guys, to let you know that I don't want to talk about this subject again. I don't want to hear about it again, because it's making me upset. I'm avoiding it because it makes me think, what if that was my nephew, what would I do? The what ifs and the horror of thinking about that those little babies got killed for senseless violence from a mentally disturbed person. That person was very disturbed. And the poor parents that lost their children. It makes me just so sick that someone, if the mother died and it was her gun and she didn't have it locked up and she got killed, then it was her fault that she died, and she deserved it, because she knew you had to have known that your kid was mentally disturbed, and if you didn't know that your kid was mentally disturbed, then there's something wrong with you, and you're not paying it. There's something wrong with this, where when parents don't pay attention to their children enough, that they don't even know that their kid's mentally disturbed and doing freaking messed up stuff. Parents, watch what your children are doing. Watch how your children react to things. There's signs. There's always a sign, and if you don't pick up on it, it's not always your fault, but if you knew it and you had guns and your kid kills somebody, or somebody kills somebody using your gun, and you left it out unlocked, and someone got a hold of it, then I guess you're kind of partly responsible. So, the mother died, and the kid was mentally disturbed. No one just goes out and kills people just because they lost their job, which is what I heard happen. You know, this is all I got to say about it. I want to say to the parents of the children, and family members, grandparents, aunts and uncles and cousins, and friends, and classmates, and teachers, to the students that died, that knew those students, and knew how beautiful the students' personalities were, and how lovely the other staff members and adults that died, that will no longer, the families of them, the children of the adults that died, I want to say I'm sorry for your loss, and to let you know that everybody, that your family members were good people, and that they're up in heaven looking down on you, and they will be there on Christmas Day in spirit. And don't ever forget how much you love them, and how much you appreciated their life, and what impact they had on your life. And don't ever think that they didn't love you, because they did. And to all those parents of those children, rest assured, you'll never forget them, and the fact that they were wonderful children, and smart, and wonderful children, and had a lot of love to share, and was lost too soon. And I want everybody to please take a few seconds of silence to remember those lost, and to say rest in peace, and may God hold you in His arms and keep you safe. Keep you in His arms now in heaven. Starting now, we'll have a rest in peace for them. Thank you for having a rest in peace for those lost. And thanks for supporting my web show and watching this video. And I want to say one day you will be reunited with your children in your death in heaven. So don't ever forget that they're not looking down on you and loving you just as much as they did when they were alive. And they'll be there in spirit at Christmas. And have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And hold your babies tighter tonight. And know that you have your children. And be thankful that you do. And that you have all your family members that are alive and friends. And that you're not going through what they did. And thank you for watching. Peace out and much fun and love to the Jeopardy.